Bootleg Kev Podcast, episode number 99.
Oh, wait.
100 is with Whack 100, which will be coming out Monday, Friday, I don't know. When is it coming out, Cook? Monday. But 99 is here with Demrick.
Let's go.
And Tony Choc.
Yes, sir. Beat by Choc.
For people who don't know who Demrick is an incredible MC. And for people who don't know who Tony Choc is just an all right beat maker.
Damn. And you signed him. You gonna put that out there about your boy, man. This is you know what I mean? You're his manager. This is horrible management.
It's horrible management.
It's horrible management.
Nah, Tony Choc is an alien. He's an incredible producer and my favorite Vietnamese person in the world. God bless you, Tony. This guy put me onto the best food I've ever had. Like I never even fucked with pho before. This guy, and he put me on, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he invited me over for a Korean barbecue at his house. Messed up.
We did get fucked up, man. Yeah. But listen, so Demrick, you're here. You guys are putting an album out next week, September 15th. Blessings on the way.
Yeah.
How was it working? Like, obviously, you've done this before with Hoppa a few times, right? So what was it like doing a whole project with a producer that wasn't DJ Hoppa?
I thought it was dope. You know, Tony Choc has a bunch of different like styles of making beats, you know, but he has like a signature sound that kind of like flows through all that production. So the whole thing was like, yo, kind of flipping on my style. You know how I want to go, shit I could really spit on and just kind of like, you know, I like to get melodic on some choruses, but really I like to go heavy with the bar work, right? And so he was like, okay, we're going to do it. And then, you know, he put his twist. So some of it's like trap, but like with hip hop drum, like, you know, he kind of like would just come to the table with song samples that I never heard before and tempos that were always, he likes a lot of up-tempo type shit in my opinion, and that was kind of different for me because I do, you know, smoke and chill music sometimes and get introspective, and so the fact that he was keeping the tempos up and shit like that, I just took it as a challenge to do something different because I'm gonna tell you this, bro, it's not just with DJ Hoppa. Along the way, like, you know, I was dropping full projects with Scoop DeVille. I was dropping full projects even this year alone.
Were you a part of the Get Busy committee?
I wasn't a part of the Get Busy committee, but I did a lot of records.
That was Ryu, Scoop,
and Apathy.
Yeah, and Apathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, I think, you know, it's missing in hip hop today, the idea of a full collaborative project with a producer.
Shout out BReal. That's what he always told me about Cypress Hill. You know, he said that's what gave them the sound was working with DJ Muggs. And so they was always about like finding a producer who you could get in the trenches with. You know, even originally from my group, Tangled Thoughts, I was rapping. Tech would do all the beats when I originally started rapping. So the way I looked at it is locking in with somebody and actually having a meeting of the minds about the music is how you come up with the best shit instead of just,
and it's cohesive.
Exactly. Instead of just pulling beats from different people this and that day, and you know, Tony Choc might call me like, oh shit, we need this kind of song now. We need this, or hey, I flipped this beat this way. Hey, take a listen to this now, see what you think. And you know, actually being in the trenches, making a piece of art you're gonna present forward, it's like good to know that the people that's doing the music give a fuck just as much as you do about the content of the songs.
How many songs did you guys cut all together? Because I know there was a bunch that didn't make it, right?
Yeah, we probably cut, so there's 10 on the album, so I would say we cut maybe like 17, 18 records. You know, I'm to the point now with making music where like a lot of times I won't even finish the record if I don't feel it. Like if that energy doesn't stick with me, you know, I'll start something, do a verse and a chorus, and I might think about it the next day, bumping it, you know, some people that I fuck with, let them hear the music and just kind of sit with it for a second and say, maybe that one's not the one, you know?
What would be, because Demrick, you've done a great job of having a great independent, successful career as a rapper, right? I think at the end of the day, most artists who are aspiring to do this shit, all they really want to do is be able to have a good living for themselves while doing what they love, right? So you've done a great job of always having music out, always, you know, being able to, you know, do your thing while just doing what you love, right? So what would be some advice you would give some up and coming artists as far as like going the independent route and the things that you've kind of applied to your career that have made it sustainable for you to pay your bills off this rap shit?
Yeah, well, I would say first off, like just the typical way that you know, because I kind of got on through the hype man, then songwriting, and then kind of doing that. And then just as soon as I was able to just start dropping music and seeing that I could build fans through releasing music, I was like, that's all I need to do, because I'm not running out of ideas for verses, songs. I'm living every day. I'm gaining more perspective as I've grown. If you've seen anything, people who've been listening to me for a while might be like, damn, I kind of seen this nigga grow up through the music, right? Because I've been dropping music for so long. So getting consistent is a big part of it. And like, don't wait necessarily for the perfect time to release music, or, you know, if you believe in a song, release it. And don't get too caught up in the one record or the one thing. You know, this is it. You know, it's not necessarily that way for every artist. And along the way, one thing's for sure, as long as you are being solid and true within your music, people are going to gravitate to it. And as you build fan base, you know, and people that fuck with you, you know, you build power through that. And so I just think about focusing on your fans, staying consistent, don't really get caught up. And, you know, there's a lot of money goes into this game. So you want to have a big record or things like that, you know, that shit happens. Like, cheap. Yeah, exactly. It can happen on some lottery shit, like, but you can win the lottery. You can win the lottery too.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm
one
saying?
way. Yeah,
but if you want to just drop some dope shit and build with people, you know, you gotta get in. You gotta get smart about how you gonna do your releases. Stay consistent and don't get, you know, block out the noise, man.
Was that like the goal for you? Was just having a core fan base and then consistently dropping music to feed them, and then watching it kind of just grow?
I think initially I was like, shit, I'm finna get a you know, when I moved out to LA, it's like, shit, I'm gonna get signed in 6 months. I'm finna pop off and blow up and everything, blah, blah, blah. You know, but as I started to get in the game further, I would actually see motherfuckers with one hit wonder from 5 years ago, or one hit wonder from X amount of years ago, not looking like they doing so good. And I started to see some actual shit that made me be like, you know, I really only thought about rapping and hustling as my job and what I was going to do with my life. So once I started seeing people fall off that look so big to me, you know, they pulled the curtain back, and I see the way it looked behind the curtain wasn't necessarily the way that I thought it was going to be. But what I did see is real people who built real fan bases, didn't really get caught up in the industry, focused on releasing dope shit, and then building long-lasting careers off of their creativity. So I started to think like, yeah, I want the big hit. And the whole thing about the big hit is that shit could still happen out the fucking blue.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's still the chance. But if you spend all your time chasing that and you ain't building yourself a foundation,
fan base or foundation to support you,
you're going to be sad at the end, because life is hard. It's one thing I learned for sure. Life's hard the whole way through. So you know what I'm saying? If you want to stay on top of this shit, you got to find what works for you and go fucking hard for what you want.
You have some big homies in the game. You mentioned BReal, obviously Xzibit's somebody, you know, obviously you guys, shout out to the Serial Killers projects that are crazy. What was like something you took from each of them as far as helping them on stage? You know, because I think the first time I ever met you was in Idaho. It was a Busy Bone BReal tour.
That was actually the very first tour that I ever went on with BReal.
Yeah, and Busy Bone didn't show up until like midnight and then didn't perform because Busy Bone. I had to pick Busy Bone up that night in Boise from the airport in my 92 Honda Accord. And when I tell you that man was on another planet, he was galactic.
He was. Hey, shout out Busy Bone.
He was in there. I couldn't even, I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Crazy. I thought the guy was possessed in my front seat. I was like, this motherfucker gonna kill me. But like, what are the things you learned from BReal, from X, as far as like early on? Because, you know, obviously Xzibit's done a great job of sustaining, you know, for people who think that Xzibit fell off, like Xzibit's a boss. He's a businessman. He's fucking pivoted in so many different ways in this music industry. Same thing with BReal. What are the things that you kind of learned from them?
That right there, that for sure, the ability to look at opportunities, look at the landscape, and get involved in different things, you know, and not be so one track minded. But they told me to don't chase sounds, don't try to. If you always trying to, you know, BReal is like the shit coming full circle every time around. And why would I not believe him? He been in the game since the beginning of what, you know, since early 89, 90. He came in the game and had a hit record, so he seen shit come around a couple times. So if he's telling me, you know, just stick to the script of what you fuck with, let the game come to you. That was one thing I picked up. And obviously performing with them, how to rock a crowd. I mean, this shit, like these ain't club shows with 200 people. You know, so I've been on stage with Cypress in front of 80,000. You know, I've been on stage with Xzibit in front of 30, 40,000. You know, big shows and bunch of nights in a row too, you know, in 2 years. And so that's kind of the way that I seen was big shows, big productions, real performance, being able to rap, perform your lyrics, control a crowd, hold it the fuck down. When you're on stage, you are actually entertaining people. You got 1 hour. If you just fucking dancing to your own songs the whole fucking time, you know, that shit gonna get old quick. And when I say when that hit started dying down and the show stopped, the booking stopped coming because you didn't really pay attention to the performance aspect of the game and everything. So I learned so much shit from them that it's kind of hard. I was actually watching something and they were talking about mentors, and I really am like, damn, you know, I really had some dope ass mentors in my life, you know, BReal and Xzibit, and that I started out from wanting to rap for those dudes to hype manning for them to doing working on songs with them to doing albums with them, and a long-standing relationship that still goes to this day. So that means, what does that mean? It means you didn't fuck it up, you didn't drop the ball, you didn't get too big-headed, you stayed solid. And that's one of the things. It's hard to get a big head when you see people that have done it so big for so long and see that they still grinding every day. They still going for it every day. But I see what it means to the people and what it means to them and how they present it. So stay solid, man. And I'm lucky that I have mentors like that.
Yeah, when you talk about the performance, I think that one of the things that kind of showed through was that versus battle with the Locks and Dipset. It was like, them dudes was not rapping over their lyrics.
They wasn't ready. They didn't take it serious.
They was rocking the crowd, and Dipset didn't take it serious.
Yeah.
At least, and if I'm not saying they didn't take it all the way serious, but obviously there's a difference between, you know, I feel like Dipset's peak happened after the Locks really started to come into the game, even though Cam was around during the same time the Locks came in. But like the Dipset wave really hit, like I always think of like 2001, 2002, and you think of the Locks was late 90s, you know, 97, 98, and just kind of like the different eras of like performing, like not over your own lyrics.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Show tracks.
And that's what I say when I said they weren't prepared. I wasn't saying it in the scheme of the whole shit, but as far as like rapping.
Yeah, like to be able to just throw on a beat like Who Shot Ya, and then Jada know his Who Shot Ya freestyle from, and then just
and rip it
for 2 minutes straight.
Yeah, exactly. And talk shit, be funny, be charismatic,
right.
Hold it down, and actually delivering full verses all the way through, you know. And that shit is that it takes time. You gotta hone your craft on that level to be able to do that. You know, you started however you started. I feel like nowadays motherfuckers they just start like basically in their room with the homies, you know, just making songs on the computer. You know, I think when I started, it was more like, you know, you was rapping in a cypher or some shit like that, you know, but it remains the same. It starts from a very minimal place, and as it builds up, you got to look at all of what hip hop is about and everything, and figure out what you want to participate in and what you want to focus in. But if you want to do the whole shit, performing is a part of it. You know what I mean?
And rapping, actually rapping.
That's it, man.
Hey, what up, man? We got to interrupt the interview real quick to tell you about our family at Odd Socks. Now, when I be riding for Odd Socks so hard, man, it's because I really love the product. They got the most comfortable socks in the fucking world. I got a pair of Odd Socks Basics on right now. Go get those. They got the socks, WWE joints, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to The Undertaker, Pepsi, motherfucking, really whatever you need. Some weed socks, Nickelodeon. But really, they got the draws now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm holding a pair of Tapatio underwear right now. You want some Pop-Tarts on your dick? Pop-Tart draws. And these motherfuckers are so comfortable. Like, man. So listen, you got to go to oddsocksofficial.com and use the promo code, the discount code Bootleg Kev at oddsocksofficial.com. You'll save 20% off underwear, the most comfortable socks in the world. Crazy licenses. Not only they got the WWE, they got the Scarface, they got the Street Fighter, they got the Nickelodeon, they got it all. So make sure you hit that website, oddsocksofficial.com. Save 20% off with the promo code Bootleg Kev. All right? Go do that. Shout out to Odd Socks. Let's get back to the interview. Tony Choc.
What's up?
So you did a whole album with Kasky,
Right.
Fine Art,
Right.
which is fire.
Thank you.
What was the difference between working with Kasky and Demrick on a whole project together? Talking to the microphone, you fuck you.
The difference is Kasky work way too fast, and I try to keep up with him, but I don't know. It's a whole different environment. Like I've learned a lot from working with Kasky and working with Demrick. Demrick kind of slowed me down a little bit and make me think more, and be creative.
Right.
And with Kasky, he was like, "Yo, let's go, pump, and then I go back and fix stuff."
Right. So you
get what I'm saying?
yeah. So with Demrick, it's like you take your time, do it right the first go round, and
right.
Yeah.
So I learned my pace with certain artists. And
Yeah.
What was your guys' like? If you had to pick one record off of Blessings on. By the way, the title track's my favorite. But what's your guys' favorite record on the album?
I like Still. Still's one of my
Yeah, I like Still. That's one of my favorite as well. But I like the intro. I see that Blessings on the Way. What I feel like that record is like something that's connecting with a lot of people. A lot of people are feeling it right now with everything that's been going on
an
in
anthem,
the world.
bro.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like it's a song that speaks to a lot of people. It was written in a form that's kind of like for everybody. You know what I mean? Blessings on the Way. Who out here? We're in the time of everybody grinding, getting to it. Right. Everybody's going hard for their shit. Everybody is seeing knocking shit off their list one step at a time. So that's what it is. Blessings on the Way embodies that. So
what do you with the pandemic, obviously I don't even know if we're on the other side of it yet, but like I know you depend a lot on the live shows, right? Like how did that kind of make you rethink things or maybe make you pivot differently in 2020?
I think
I'm assuming you were going to be on tour.
I was going to be on tour, and what happened is like because shout out Diz, because we during the pandemic that when
you
it
guys
was
just
really
did a
crazy.
couple shows, right? You had to cancel one though, right?
Yeah, we canceled one because that whole thing, they wanted us to make an announcement for people to get vaccinated or show up with the negative test. And now I feel like that's kind of the norm. But when they wanted us to say it, it was kind of like, I don't know if we want to really put that out there like that. So yeah, we canceled one show, but the other show was good. But what I'm saying is basically when COVID hit, it gave me a chance to sit at home and say, hey, number one, I'm gonna make more music. I'm gonna drop more shit. I'm gonna double down with putting things out online and things like that, and really get projects like the one with Tony Choc done. Like me and Xzibit and BReal did another Serial Killers album. Me and Dizzy did a Blaze with us too during that time.
Yeah, that's real.
I dropped a lot of music.
1500 N9ne?
I dropped me and Mike and Keys.
That's
me and Mike and
Mike
Keys
and
dropped
Keys.
championship rounds, and so just a lot of music that I put out. And I got to shout out Reezy because we dropped an album called Payday. So I dropped so much music in the last couple years of this shit. Because now we're looking at the pandemic shit almost been around a year and a half,
It'll
right?
Be 2 years,
2
year and a
years
half.
of March, right?
Yeah. 2 years of March,
and it's crazy. And how I know that is because I was on stage. Me and Burner and Larry June, we did 4 shows right before the COVID hit.
It was they were all in Cali, right?
Yeah, exactly. And me and Burner, we was on stage, because I go up on stage and do Xanax and Patrol with them. We was doing the shoulder
elbow
shit, instead of doing it, because it was kind of like we didn't really know what was gonna happen. So of course everything locked down, and I said, shit, let me double down on these businesses. Let me figure out, Stony Point, the cannabis brand, let me figure out the Gasco Mac tonight, let me figure out this merch situation. Let me figure out, we just dropped a beer, Stony Juice, that we dropped, me and Hoppa, with a company called 405 North Brewing. And,
so
it's all about that craft beer kings,
on the side shit in the catalog.
Yeah, exactly. But it's about kind of like cultivating these other little business ideas and seeing where they could grow to. Obviously being in the cannabis market is something that I feel like a lot of people want to do, but a lot of people can't really get in on a real level. And so I had the opportunity to really be involved with it. So the thing is, it's like, how hard do I want to go for it? How big do I want to push it to be?
Yeah, I think that's the thing. A lot of rappers will get into the weed game and they think that like you just get a strain and that's where it stops. And like the weed's gonna sell itself. No. It's like, bro, you really gotta work as hard if you really want to pop off in the weed game, because it's competition's almost as crazy. I mean, it's not as crazy as the rap game, but it's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much weed, especially in Cali. It's like
so much.
How are you gonna separate yourself from the pack, not even just quality wise, just branding wise, just like, you know. So I think that's another thing, like with the weed game, it's like there's artists who might not be as, like, I guarantee you there's bigger artists that have weed strains that aren't even touching how successful your weed strain is. You know what I'm
and
saying?
that's what they be giving weed strains and shit that some people don't even smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? And
Dude,
they doing it for the name. You
literally,
know,
Jay-Z.
yeah.
Shout out to Hove. Hove is just historically not a pot guy.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You know, shout out to my guy G-Eazy. He just launched Flower Shop. Never was a big weed guy. I mean, he's been smoking more recently, but he was somebody who wasn't like a big weed guy. You know,
exactly.
But you look like someone like Dizzy, who's obviously, Dizzy shit gotta go, because people are gonna be like, if it's Dizzy right shit, I'ma smoke it because I know he's a smoker.
Exactly, and it's like understanding that we actually met with the breeders, built with them.
Perfect example is Burner, right?
Time. Yeah, of course.
Right, Burner's got the biggest weed shit, and like if you think of Burner as like a rapper, like there might be bigger rappers in the space, but Burner's all in.
Exactly.
From the jump. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So yeah, I think it's dope to see the Stony Point shit going crazy. So
That's it.
besides Blessings on the Way, we got like 4 or 5 more months left in the year. Anything else you're gonna be dropping?
Right after this, right after Blessings on the Way, which drops September 15th. You got to check this album out. It's fire.
Is that on Thursday, Wednesday? That's a Wednesday.
I think it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday, because Friday's the 17th, right? Yeah.
And then Stony Point 3 with me and Hoppa is about to drop. So we got that next. It's completely recorded and ready. And then me and Jaron Benton going to end the year with an EP together. So
that'll be fire.
that's it. Bars, man. Having fun with it. You know, just talking our shit. You know, I think at this point that I like what I see with a lot of rappers that are out there right now getting the love. I really love what Benny the Butcher and all the Griselda's doing. I love what, I like to see Freddie Gibbs, somebody that I consider to be around the whole time I've been around.
Yeah.
Grinding and see where he's sitting right now. And just seeing rappers really sticking to their guns and getting what they deserve out of
like
the
you
game.
said, almost like what BReal told you, like let the game come to you.
Exactly, bro. So
That's what those guys did.
Yep. So as far as the lyrical shit and just talking our shit, like that shit ain't going away. As long as I keep experiencing it, I must keep on bringing it to the table.
Hey Tony, what advice would you give up and coming producers?
Don't give up. Doesn't matter what type of beat you make. Just don't give up.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Why do you say that? Have you been around for a while?
I mean, there's multiple times I want to give up, but
How long you been making beats, Tony?
it's in high school.
And how old are you?
36.
Damn, you fucking old as fuck, bruh.
Bro,
I'm just fucking with you, Tony.
you're like 2 years behind me.
I know, but I'm just saying, bro, y'all Asian motherfuckers age so
How
well.
old are you guys? How old do I look?
You look like you're about 27.
Think so?
Yeah.
Hey, man, black don't crack and Asian people don't age.
That's it, man.
Facts. Shout out to all the age. So listen, so don't give up.
This is what I want to say about Tony Choc and his production is I feel like he was the person that when I was going out to Arizona, they would always say, hey, you got to get with this producer named Tony Choc. Like he really got that shit. And you came to the studio a couple times and I don't think you ever had an opportunity to really press play.
It's the weirdest.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But the way that it actually worked out is you grinded, you ended up signing with Bootleg Kev.
I convinced his ass to move out here.
Move to LA, and it's like by the time I see you in the studio right here, I realized that the hunger wouldn't be denied. It's just like you every day making beats. I follow you on social media. I see you consistently working. I'm like, shit, when you that hungry and you got that much talent, it's timing. And it's actually getting in the mix and putting the work in. And this is one of the hardest working producers that I met, and he be running from one session to the I'm coming to da da da. And I work hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this dude going crazy. And the fact that because it was really you who was like, yo, y'all gotta make this EP happen. Right. So I have a feeling like for people out there that haven't heard of his production, like it's a lot of big records, a lot of music, a lot of foundation and groundwork being laid, and it's only a matter of time before everybody gonna want a project with him. I'm
the
stamping
Beats
it
by
right
Choc
there.
is gonna be on everybody's shit.
That's it. Period.
There it is, man.
Hopefully.
It's coming.
Thanks to this guy though. He got me.
For everyone who doesn't know, I bust this guy's balls always. Not just when the cameras are rolling.
You gotta keep him humble, man.
Gotta keep him humble.
Hey, yo, what the fuck at, man?
The pho?
Yeah.
I didn't know how racist that would be, if I'm being honest. I was gonna try to get Pho brought in for the interview, but I figured that might be a little knocking on racism door. Yeah. I asked him yesterday. He was like, he's like, no, we're good. I love Pho. But I just don't know, man. I don't want to get canceled.
Online
Bootleg Kev brings Pho to Vietnamese producer's interview.
That's showing love.
And he's canceled. Well, listen, man, the album is out September 15th. That's next Wednesday. This will be out Friday, so 5 days away. There's 3 or 4 songs out right now.
Yeah.
4 songs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 4 records out. Ritz record just dropped, which is doing really well, I saw.
Yeah. Paul Wall.
That record's out.
Little Money and that's
the Beans Dizzy record.
Yeah. And then what was the other
one with Alexcis and the
exactly.
Sexton kid, right?
Yeah. Ride for Mine.
There it is. Go support Demrick Tony Choc.
Shout out to don't we have an album release party coming up?
Arizona Monarch on the 29th of September.
Let's go.
Phoenix. Get your tickets. They're only $10.
It's easy.
All right, pull up, man. If you're in Arizona, a lot of people in Arizona watch this, so come to the fucking album release party. Tony will make a beat live on stage. He's gonna bring his fucking Ableton Push and be like,
Let's get it.
All right, there it is. Boom.